First off, I want to apologize for getting these episodes out so long after recording them. I'm used to a bi-weekly schedule, and things have been so busy with extra recording dates, extra shifts at work, and keeping my kids extra time. It all adds up to making getting episodes out in a reasonable time frame tough to do. The last one should have been out earlier for sure. I assure you, anyone who's interested in keeping up with the show, I'm always working on the next episode and will be putting them out as quickly as I can. I appreciate your patience. This is the second part of a long recording session. We had Michael Sherlock Skype in with us, which you'll know if you listen to the last episode. And after the break, we had another hour and a half discussion. This episode is that discussion. This is episode 21 and is the second part of our recording on October 25th, 2014. With me, Mike, Destin, and Renee.
We can say definitively that religions are all bullshit.
Amen, brother.
Well, you know me, I don't buy into BS.
I get paid to sign.
I don't fit into human nature.
Do not come here, not come here.
What the hell was my point?
Brainstorm.
The first one says, here's a fun list for us to tear apart. So let's
I read that list.
click that link.
Of course, the guy that wrote the list wouldn't know the list.
Why would I? I wrote it as a list. On
Things
purpose.
I hate. Lists. Irony.
5 reasons that atheism is stupid.
You know, you don't have to wait for paper to load. You could just printed it.
And the look of
We need an image for this podcast.
Yeah, but tree matter is still such a primitive method of information
It
delivery.
really is. It really is.
Who cares? It's efficient.
We could go old school and go parchment.
Yeah, we could, but we shouldn't. I think that takes even more tree matter.
If it's papyrus, it takes no tree.
Yeah,
matter.
I was thinking.
Yeah.
I was thinking papyrus.
Papyrus?
Yeah.
Then
Papyrus.
Then it's just a little more expensive because it's going to be cloth or something. So
No, I think that's made from reeds.
was it
Papyrus,
reeds?
Yeah, papyrus is reeds.
Yeah, it's actually a really efficient way to make paper because it's made from a weed.
Yes,
A really efficient way would be to actually make it out of bamboo, because bamboo grows ridiculously quick and it's easy to convert to paper. And when you boil it down,
you're reminding me of the possibility for hemp paper.
and if you boil, the difference is if you boil down the bamboo, it'll make its own glue for the paper, and it grows faster.
I think we're losing focus here.
Not that list.
The existence of the universe is number one reason why atheism is stupid.
Huh?
It's stupid because it exists.
The list is
That sounds non sequitur.
5 reasons that atheism is stupid. Number 1 is the existence of the universe.
Yeah. That sounds non sequitur to me.
Read the whole thing? No, I'm not going to read that.
Read the actual, what they actually mean by that.
Read the punchline of the joke.
Oh, God.
And edit most of that out.
Yeah. Often when asked to explain why they believe in the existence of God, people will find themselves just saying, look around us. They will cite the existence of the natural world as evidence for the existence of God. This is precisely what Paul did as well. He said, for ever since the world was created, people have seen the earth and the sky through everything God made. They can clearly see his invisible qualities, his eternal power, and his divine nature.
so they have no excuse for not knowing God. That is because if it exists, it must have an explanation. Either that it is eternal, or that an explanation beyond itself, or an explanation about beyond itself.
And it can't be eternal because...
Well, no, I'm sure they explain that. Just imagine that you are walking along and you come across a ball. You wonder where it came from, and your friend says, oh, it's just exists inexplicably.
Well, no, eternally. I thought that was okay. It's okay for God.
I'm sure they address this.
All I'm thinking is that, like, which creation myth are we supposed to be?
Obviously, that would be ridiculous. But expand that ball to the size of the Earth, or even the entire known universe. It still needs an explanation. Or it's eternal.
Eternal.
That was one of the options, right?
Who wrote this shit?
So Hasbro is God?
The explanation cannot be natural because nature cannot cause itself any more than a man can cause its own father. It must be supernatural, timeless, spaceless, or immaterial. Therefore, God exists.
No.
Temporal paradox?
It's non sequitur.
Yeah.
That doesn't follow from the premises.
Well, I thought they would address the eternal issue.
Any given event, the creation of an item, like they're fond of saying that we design things. The universe was designed. Look at it. So they think of design, us creating things. Well, so things can have creators. They just come from the things before them. When we say that the universe is eternal, we just mean that chain of events going back into the past is never ending. That's all. So we don't need something to cause itself. Everything causes the next thing. That's the whole point of causation. In the Newtonian sense, anyway, right?
Seems pretty easy.
Yeah, it seems obvious.
Seems pretty obvious.
So the argument is garbage.
Well, there is no argument.
Well, the argument that a thing can't create itself, therefore it has to have a creator. Well, no one said that the universe created itself. That's a straw man argument.
Yeah, even the Lawrence Krauss perspective that our current known universe has a start doesn't mean that it wasn't caused by a previous universe or by a previous.
Well, there's that idea that the universe is expanding to a certain point, and then it'll start contracting.
Right.
That's been debunked a number of times.
Has it?
Though. Yeah,
okay.
It has. But the notion that the universe has a beginning, I mean, it's what we call a knowledge horizon. We can't see beyond the beginning of the universe. We can't know things beyond it. That's a theme you'll find running through anything from Stephen Hawking's books or anything you read about that. That's a knowledge horizon. So.
It's not the unknown. It's the unknowable.
You can't know beyond it.
The fact that you can't know anything beyond it doesn't mean there isn't anything. For some reason, people suspect that all of these scientists believe there's nothing, beyond this knowledge horizon. There isn't. That's just as far as we can see. That's all.
And the fact that it's unknowable basically means that the discussion ends there.
Yes.
Because anything else is just opinion.
Precisely.
And it means nothing.
Meaningless speculation.
Yeah. Not backed up by anything.
Yeah, at all.
Okay, so
Next.
number two.
That's my
number
favorite
two
word.
reason that atheism
is stupid.
Is that the title?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
This is hurting my brain already.
Number two is the Big Bang. Okay.
We just did that. That's the exact same as number one.
That does seem awfully similar.
It is the
Let me
exact
just
same.
read through it.
Okay.
Scientists have discovered that the universe does not just go back and back forever, but that it has an absolute beginning.
No. Anyway, the universe does, yeah.
Yeah.
But not everything.
Not everything.
Yeah.
The agnostic physicist
matter and
Alexander Vilenkin said it is said that an argument is what it takes to convince reasonable men, and a proof is what it takes to convince even an unreasonable man.
No, religion is what you need to
With the proof now
for
in
an
place,
unreasonable man.
cosmologists can no longer hide behind the idea of a past eternal universe. What? They have to face the problem of a cosmic beginning.
No.
Cosmic beginning.
Next.
He said problem because atheists do not like the way the evidence points. If the universe had an absolute beginning, then it must have. Yeah, we addressed this. Fuck off.
And atheists, well.
Number 3, the design of the universe. We addressed that as well.
We might cut out the rest of the explanation of number 2.
The design of mankind.
I'm going to argue how they hate.
Argument.
When you said that atheists hate evidence.
Oh no! Wait! Are you sure that's what it said?
You just said that a couple seconds ago.
Did it say that?
Atheists hate the way the evidence points or whatever.
No, they don't like the way.
Don't like, not hate. Sorry, I'm using too strong of words.
They don't like it.
Rational people, which I think comprise a good chunk of atheists, like evidence. That's all we're looking for.
Yeah, usually. Yeah, that sounds fair. All right. So number 3 was the design of the universe.
Okay, so that's the same
the
as number 1?
The same fucking thing.
Well, yeah, but it's the teleological argument.
1, 2, and 3 are all the same.
Well, yeah. I think the design thing, that's the whole, brings us back to the whole banana thing.
Or the ball, wherever the fuck the ball came from that they were just talking.
The design, telos just means purpose. The teleological argument, it's the argument from purpose. The universe has a purpose. It was designed.
This puddle was made for me.
Yeah, it goes all the way back to the ancient Greeks. It's a garbage argument.
What's number 4? Because the universe?
It says the design of mankind.
Can we just skip that
louder?
one? Can we just skip? Can we just pretend this conversation didn't happen?
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
No.
There's a point. There's a point. Okay.
This will convert you.
Oh, a conclusion. Go ahead.
The resurrection of Jesus Christ. Well, wait a sec. That didn't convince you?
Sorry. I was apologizing to the microphone. Not yet.
Oh, jeez.
Why is this? Why did you pick this for our fucking show?
I don't know.
Do you even read the shit that you pick?
Do you even read, bro?
Obviously not. I don't read at all.
I think there's a little bit of salvageable material from that.
Not much.
Just us laughing. And Corey sighing, and we're done.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You know, I just realized something.
I thought it would be sort of intelligible. Like, I really did.
Well, yeah.
When the title's called The 5 Reasons Why Atheism is Stupid.
Well, I thought they'd have something legitimate. At least one legitimate gripe.
They do have the best apologist arguments there. Some of them. They just happen to be the argument from design and shit like that.
They're just fucking horrible.
Yeah, their best arguments are terrible, though.
Yeah.
You know, I just realized for a bunch of atheists, we do say Jesus and oh God a lot.
Oh God.
I just...
Yeah, but I'm talking about Jesus, G-E-E-Z-U-S.
It's okay, Renee. We do it ironically.
Oh, okay, yes.
Earlier discussion from earlier today.
Give Gumby his ironic beer as well.
Yeah.
Pretentious douche.
If I was a pretentious douche, I would make sure everybody knew how much of a pretentious douche I am.
Oh, we know.
We're pretty convinced.
No. When I say everybody, I mean fucking
everybody.
I would change my name to Pretentious Douche. That's actually a pretty good name. Paging Mr. Pretentious Douche.
All right.
What do you got here? 5 reasons why skepticism is stupid.
5 reasons that thought is stupid.
5 reasons that reason is stupid. What?
No.
I got into an argument with a guy over that whole thing. Like, you're trying to use reason to say that reason doesn't apply. What? You're using reason to argue that that faith is more important than reason or something? Oh, the things you people do.
Do you want to help make the Brainstorm podcast self-sustaining? For just $1 an episode, you can. Go to patreon.com/brainstormpodcast and become a patron. Or go to gumroad.com/brainstorm and pay whatever you want for individual episodes. Support of $35 or more will get you a t-shirt with the Brainstorm logo on it. If you can't give any money, that's fine. Give us a rating and write a review on iTunes or Stitcher. For a limited time, we're offering a Brainstorm t-shirt to the first person to review us on either podcatcher. If you just like listening and want to keep up with the show, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and check out our website, brainstormblog.net.
We are given one life, full of billions of small and large decisions. To be somebody, to change, to be kind, to give hope, to become a better person, and to leave a lasting impact on this planet. It is a decision to be made every single day while your heart is still beating. We've made our decision. Absence of clothing. Atheist and science-based apparel and merchandise. Donating 50% of our profits to charity. Look good and feel good, without God. Check us out at absenceofclothing.com and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest for discount codes and other sweet swag.
If you use the offer code BRAINSTORM, you get 10% off.
The Burger Lab, revisiting the myth of the 12-year-old McDonald's burger that just won't rot.
That would be cool if it was a true thing, because then I would just go buy a couple hundred burgers, just leave them on my counter whenever I'm hungry. Like,
yeah, but the thing is all it is that they're dried out and they're basically jerky. Like, whatever. Like, it's...
So there's no material here.
Yeah.
It completely depends on their environment.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
if you leave a McDonald's burger in a rather moist
in a
greenhouse environment, it will fucking grow plants.
It'll walk out.
Yeah. Walk out.
As if you've ever taken any kind of food handler safety course, all you need for bacteria is, well, moisture, warmth,
and time.
Moisture is kind of important.
And oxygen.
And, well, oxygen, yes.
Like, that's the whole point of this particular thing, right? Like, it all dries out so fast that there's nothing to fucking grow.
Well, and unlike a lot of, like, regular restaurant burgers, there's no tomatoes. There's no lettuce. There's nothing there.
Right.
No
it's
moisture.
just a fucking...
There's no moisture other than the bun, and even that is pretty...
It'll dry out fast, too.
Yeah. And the meat is seared, so there's nothing...
Yeah, like, it's... It's not just seared, it's pressure seared. Like, they cook it with a double-sided grill, and it just... Yeah,
it's like using a bacon press on a burger.
Yeah. Next.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think there's much to say about this. Like, it was... Did you see the video that discussed what happens when you put McDonald's? I think Dave actually posted it. You take McDonald's food to an organic fair.
Yeah, I saw that one.
That was awesome.
I died laughing at that one.
This is fantastic.
It tastes
really good chicken.
It tastes so much better than.
Well, it's the same thing as the Penn and Teller one.
Yeah, it really is.
You know, cut a banana in half, hand it out. Okay, try this one. I'll try this one. Oh, the second one's much more banana-y. Well, it's the same fucking banana. Like,
you're just tasting halves of the same fucking thing.
and they got the same guy like 6 times on that show with, which one's organic? Well, that one is clearly organic because it's brighter and da-da-da-da-da. No, that's not the organic one. Yeah. The one that looks like shit is the organic one. Like,
yeah. The one that tastes the same is the same banana.
Yeah.
The one with the mold on it and the fungus is the organic one.
Yeah.
The one with the deadly spores.
Yeah.
That's the one you're supposed to buy.
Yeah. That one's all natural.
Yeah. It's like cyanide.
And sulfur.
And sulfur? Yeah. It's all natural.
I think
And the
Einsteinium
sun.
was man-made. There are man-made elements.
Yeah, well, elements don't exist naturally on our planet.
On our planet, yeah.
They can easily exist naturally elsewhere.
Is gravitonium real?
No.
That's a Marvel Shields thing?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is.
Unobtainium?
Unobtainium. If we're going to have something like that, it would be the Higgs boson, or the Higgs boson.
Yeah.
Right? So.
The particle that makes up the force field that gives all of the particles
the
mass.
Higgs field.
Yeah.
The goddamn particle? Not the one you're talking about?
The goddamn particle.
I forgot they called that the God particle.
That's right.
That's too bad.
Midichlorians? No?
No?
Can we get some of those? I would like all of the midichlorians you have.
Yeah.
No, then you turn into Hayden Christensen.
Acupuncture doesn't work.
Oh, acupuncture. True. Did you guys see the acupuncture for your pets?
Really?
Yeah. The article simply says, if your vet recommends acupuncture for your pets, get a new vet.
Yeah.
It was on my Facebook feed.
It's similar to the if your vet
doctor recommends acupuncture, get a new doctor.
Or if your vet or doctor recommends chiropractic. Or if your vet or doctor recommends, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm
naturopathy.
Naturopathy's bullshit. I don't have a problem as much with chiropractic, but there is wankery in it. But
the fact that it's not controlled or sanctioned enough. I understand the woo around it. There is something to be said about getting your bones cracked. It feels good.
What it does,
but the fact that they're not licensed by a medical field or school.
The thing is that medical science actually understands why getting your bones cracked works, right, and relieves pressure.
Yeah, and they have people that are specialists at doing that, and they're called physiotherapists.
Physiotherapists, exactly.
They accomplish the exact same thing without trying to break your spine.
That reminds me of the whole thing. It's like people who study teeth, right? They're dentists, but if they don't have that medical term, well, what do you get? They're toothiologists. That's right. That's what the chiropractor.
Spineologist.
He's the toothiologist of
of dentistry. Of backs, I guess.
That's
the spineologist.
He's the spineologist.
The boneologist.
That's what they are.
In a future episode, I'd like to have the guys from the Prism podcast come on. They are both dentists and skeptics at the same time. Apparently, some of dentistry isn't evidence-based. And
well, then it's toothiology.
Yeah, some of it's dentistry, some of it is quackery.
Yeah. So
I think it can be.
I mean, they obviously encourage the skeptical.
You can say some of that in standard doctor practice.
Yeah, for sure.
Too, but
chiropractors are bullshit.
And one thing that bothers me about that is my...
I don't know, like I said, I've had experience where it has helped, but I haven't totally bought into, you got to come back for the next whatever.
But you'd still rather see a physiotherapist because the chiropractor is just the toothiologist, whereas the physiotherapist is the actual scientist. Yeah.
I guess the thing is, I think the physical therapist has come more to more prominence in the last few years. More than
and physiotherapists are trained so much that they don't just have to show up and pay to get a plaque on their wall, and there's way less chance of them causing actual damage.
Yeah, yes, that's true.
Yeah. The funny, I don't have the article in front of me, and we came to this from an acupuncture article, but
yep,
we don't wander at all.
No.
But chiropractic was started by a guy who said everything that's wrong with you can be fixed by an adjustment of your spine. And it hasn't changed since it started. It hasn't been studied in such a way that it would develop or advance the way that other medical sciences would.
Well, that's because medical science looked at it and went, no. Next. One thing that really pisses me off is the $150 or $180 I spent for my medical insurance every month from work for my coverage. Yeah. I can have up to $500 a year in homeopathic treatments.
Oh my God.
$500 in chiropractic, $500 in all sorts of fucking quackery.
Naturopathy.
But I get $100 a year for glasses. Fuck you.
I wear
for bullshit.
I wear in dentistry. Never is covered.
I won't bitch about my dentistry.
Oh, yours is
got covered? Fucking awesome.
Yeah, mine is too. Mine's pretty awesome. But I get $250 for glasses, $150 per kid for glasses.
Yeah, check what you get for fucking homeopathy.
Bullshit.
Yeah, for bullshit stuff.
Yeah.
And I actually, because the people that we changed our coverage. Are the people that cover our stuff, and they actually came to the dealership so that we can ask them questions and stuff. And some people opted out of everything. And I said, all right, wait, why is there homeopathy covered? They're like, well, it's alternate medicine. I'm like, no, there's no such thing as alternate medicine. There's medicine and there's not medicine.
The one reasonable person in the entire place.
Well, and the guy just rolled his eyes at me. Right. And I'm like, God.
Because he's a fucking insurance agent.
Right.
Selling you insurance. He doesn't give a fuck what you use it for.
No. But I said, why the fuck is this shit covered? And I can't get glasses.
Yeah.
You know, I will actually use glass coverage eventually if I ever need glasses. But it was so fucking frustrating. So fuck you, insurance companies. That's all I gotta say.
I think
maybe you can save yourself some money by not covering shit that isn't real.
That's just it.
Obviously, pure speculation. But I think that insurance companies cover homeopathy because often they don't have to pay it out.
That can't be true because if they cover homeopathy, the same insurance company that covers your homeopathy covers your life insurance. They don't want you to go get the wrong shit and die because that's way more expensive.
That is more expensive.
They've had enough people bitch and complain and whatever at them that's why they probably put it in.
Well, I get that, but I shouldn't have to pay for coverage that is bullshit. Well, and the fact that the companies like First Life or whatever these places are actually paying out these claims to these places adds false credence. It gives them false credential.
Yeah, it does.
Like, oh, if it's covered by my insurance company, it must be legit.
It must be legit.
I'm going to go get some holes put in my back by this guy with these needles. Oh, yeah, I also have $500 a year for fucking acupuncture.
I will also get X number of dollars for water, and I will also get X number of dollars for chiropractic bullshit.
Actually, a friend of mine wanted to start a company to bilk insurance companies. Just call it this homeopathy blah, blah, blah. And just charge random people, like, get his friends to come in. Yeah, you need homeopathic gut ointment.
Gut ointment.
Here you go. That'll be $500. Oh, good. Your insurance company
Your
will
guts
cover
simply
it.
aren't greased enough.
Here's some money back.
Sounds like a legitimate
scam.
Yeah, it sounds like a legal business.
Yeah. I'm afraid that doesn't increase anyone's well-being.
Well, it does, because then I can use that money that I get back from the scam and buy my fucking glasses.
Yeah, that sounds right. Also, acupuncture doesn't work. Which is where we started.
I think we lost focus long
Well, I just mentioned acupuncture, so we went full circle.
Yeah.
And by doesn't work, we mean it has no effect beyond that of a placebo.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, because you have to buy into chi for acupuncture to work.
Well, you don't have to buy into it. Placebo works on people who,
I thought you said you had to buy a
even
chia.
know if it's
into
placebo.
chi or chai, whatever.
You have to buy a chia pet.
But placebo works on people who know that it's a placebo.
Yes.
So it's not necessarily that you have to buy into chi. It's just that it is not curing anything.
Yeah. Well, you have to be able to fool yourself.
Not medicine.
It's like a conditioned response. It's the ritual of taking the pill.
Yeah.
You know,
that's right.
You know it's a placebo, but it's just
Blue
taking
pill or
the
red
pill.
pill?
It feels like you're doing something, and it has some effect. It has a placebo effect.
Yeah.
And no, having somebody dance around your head waving a feather doesn't do anything either. Sorry.
Not beyond that of a placebo.
Not even.
There goes the plans for the rest of my evening.
Doesn't do anything for your health.
That's right. Yeah. It can alleviate symptoms.
The masturbating that you do because of it might have an effect on your health.
Okay. Might still have that happy ending feeling, I guess. You know.
Oh, a happy ending with somebody dancing around you with a feather?
Time for a break. The song for this episode is from a local band named the Junkyard Pioneers. I'm good buddies with the lead singer, and I really like the sound of this song. It's not particularly atheistic or skeptical, but it's still pretty kick-ass. Here's April Flood by the Junkyard Pioneers. That's all you get of that. You can hear the rest of the song and future releases by Junkyard Pioneers at www.reverbnation.com/Junkyard Pioneers. Or you can check out their Facebook page. I'll post the links in the show notes. Now back to the discussion.
On Slate.com, we have an article called, Do Doctors Ever Treat Cancer with Natural Regimens?
Yes, all the time. Chemotherapy is natural.
Oh, that's a
Radiation
different
is
answer than I
100%
was
natural.
thinking.
Well, it is. Chemicals are natural. They occur in nature.
Everything that exists.
We take those chemicals and we kind of mix them together, and we feed someone some chemotherapy.
What I have here is an answer from David Chan, MD, from UCLA, Oncology Fellowship. I believe in treating cancer with anything that works. Show me that something works, and I'll use it.
Yeah.
Period.
It's funny that an oncologist would...
Dear morons, doctors aren't keeping cancer patients sick.
I think it's funny that an oncologist, though, would broad-spectrum cancer like that.
If big companies, super rich companies, could buy out scientists wouldn't be disagreeing with oil companies about climate change.
Yeah. Exactly.
For example.
That's right.
Right. So,
For example.
What's the reason to think that doctors are trying to keep people sick? Where's the conspiracy? You're not going to buy out all doctors.
And where's a conspiracy in Big Pharma wanting to keep you sick? No, they want to find a cure for your disease and then charge you for that cure.
Mm-hmm.
The reason they charge you money for drugs is because R&D costs money.
There's this strange notion that there's not enough demand for treatment and drugs. For Big Pharma, they need to create more to make more profit.
Right.
Like, there's not enough already for them to fucking try and sometimes fail to keep up with and treat.
And people that say, oh, Big Pharma is just corporate.
Meanwhile, big insurance is fine with keeping you sick and in the hospital for months on end.
Yeah. If Big Pharma wasn't Big Pharma, if we didn't have Big Pharma, we wouldn't have the advancements in drugs that we have. People that think Big Pharma is bad are fucking stupid. I don't care if you hear this, you disagree with me. You're stupid.
You're stupid.
Well, to an extent, I mean, capitalist businesses do run into capitalist problems, right?
Yes.
Like, companies are not moral. They're non-moral. They're not immoral. They're just non-moral entities.
Right, because they can't have moral because they're not people.
Well, yeah, they just produce profit for their shareholders. That's their job, in a sense. So sometimes you're going to run into moral problems with corporations.
Well, for sure you will.
Just like Big Pharma. But you can't hate the entire thing based on...
It's a necessity. You need Big Pharma to exist so you have access to big money.
I always thought it was a direct conflict of interest. Insurance companies, pharmaceutical companies. These guys are making you sick. These guys are paying for that. They have equal power. There's just no...
It makes no sense.
What's going on there?
Yeah.
Like in the conspiracy...
Why aren't they at war in the streets?
In the conspiratorial mind. Like, what's going on there?
What do you mean my insurance company wants me to be sick? So my insurance company... Wants me to sit at home.
Wants to pay for his medicine.
Yeah.
It's Big Pharma that wants to keep you sick.
Well, right, but that's right.
That's right.
So they should be at war.
Big insurance is totally fine with paying out millions every year for sick people who don't have to be sick.
They like bringing it down for that shit.
So why aren't insurance companies in some kind of media war with Big Pharma trying to defame them and saying, look at what they're doing, trying to keep you sick. We're on your side.
That the whole keeping you sick thing is bullshit?
No. No, this war is going on in secret, I'm sure of it.
Yes.
Or it's
the fact that there's no evidence is evidence for it.
That's right.
Maybe ISIS is just code for bear.
Right now I'm envisioning Big Pharma and big
Where's bear from?
Germany.
Big insurance companies with their secret
like bear,
ninjas.
The pharmaceutical company.
Okay.
ISIS is just a branch
secret
of them.
ninjas.
They're the militant part of bear.
Well, not so secret because if it's Big Pharma, you got to have,
Well, there has to be some witness, or else there wouldn't be YouTube videos.
No. What I'm saying is that it's all marketing. So it's all their ninja outfit has got like all the drug companies all over.
Right.
Sponsors.
Yeah.
They're just like race car drivers.
Ninjas.
Sponsored ninjas.
Race car driver ninjas.
Race car, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you see what I mean?
Totally. I get it.
I don't know what to do with my hands. That's off of
That's it.
Talladega Nights.
Okay.
Race car driver. I'm on topic.
I suspect that the Pope is an atheist.
Pope Francis the Loser. As hardline bishops veto gay-friendly statements.
How is that possible? I thought the Pope was supposed to be
The
infallible.
voice of God.
Apparently not if he disagrees with the rest of the Catholic Church.
Wait, he's not a figurehead, is he?
Sit in the chair and do shit.
There's sometimes he is infallible, not during that.
Oh,
not when
I
he
see.
contradicts doctrine.
Sorry, the audio text talking again.
Without a mic.
Without a mic. That's the confusing thing. Told him to grab a mic.
So basically, the Pope is only infallible so long as he's not contradicting what previous doctrine has said. Unless it's approved. If it's previously approved, then he can contradict whatever.
Wait.
Doctrine
So God can change his
wants.
mind in his books,
No.
but the Pope can't. God can be contradictory, but the Pope can't.
God
even
doesn't-
though he's the voice of God.
I don't know how this works.
This shit's always so confusing.
It just sounds to me like the Pope is a figurehead.
It almost sounds like the whole thing is
It does,
bullshit.
doesn't
I don't
it?
know.
It does sort of sound like the whole thing is bullshit. The Pope is a figurehead, and a bunch of bigots are in charge of the Catholic Church.
Yeah, a bunch of guys wearing dresses are concerned about gay people. Something is
Kind
I
of.
don't know. Something is a little strange here.
It's like, the guys that hunt with the beards, they have the big beards, they have the crappy ass show.
Duck Dynasty?
Duck Dynasty. It's like the whole Duck Dynasty, how they're anti-gay, even though he made his fortune by making bird calls that made it sound like you wanted to have sex with the birds.
So animal sex is cool.
Yeah. Bestiality is okay.
Bestiality's fine.
Homosexuality is bad.
I guess
It is a deep south.
Well, yeah, that is where he's from, yes.
I just don't believe in nationalism.
No, I don't either.
So I think things like national anthems are the stupidest shit in the world.
They exist, but so I believe in them.
I don't believe they should exist.
They do exist.
Yes.
Yes, I agree.
I disagree with Gumby. National anthems and stuff do exist.
I don't, however, think that they're the best way to deal about things.
I don't think nationalism should exist.
That is such a flat look. You're looking at me like, yeah, you're going to be that guy, aren't you?
Well, if I'm being myself, I totally expect you to be you. So
Yes, nationalism is probably a bad idea.
Yep. And edit all that shit.
Okay, so we only briefly want to talk about the shooting in Ottawa. Mm-hmm. I don't think that we want to give too much publicity to the fact, to a person who was clearly fucking nuts and went and attacked people in a public place.
Yeah.
I don't think we want to address it, I don't think we want to attach any necessarily any particular ideology to it. I just think it was a fucking lunatic who did a bad thing, and I think that I feel bad for the families of the people who were killed, and that's all I have really to say about it.
And I think the response of a lot of Canadians that I've seen on different blogs, on Facebook, has been really pathetic when they're telling, like, ragheads go home, this is Canada.
That's some bullshit right there.
Fuck you.
That's some bullshit.
If you're one of those people, fuck you, don't listen to this show. Go fuck yourself. Please don't edit that.
I'm not going to. I'm not going to.
where was that in Alberta where they
Cold Lake,
Alberta, where they covered that mosque
with graffiti that said "Go home."
Yeah,
that's
and then a bunch of people from Cold Lake showed up to clean it off.
Yep,
that's Canadian. Even though I don't agree with nationalism, that's what you should take away as a culture. Is to
what
fight
we want
against
to promote.
Shit like that.
That is the kind of thing that we would like to promote. We don't want to promote any kind of ridiculous nonsense bigotry. That's my view. I'm anti-Islam. I think that religions as a whole are bad ideas and need to be criticized. And
anti-Islam to the exact extent that I'm anti-religion.
Christian.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Christian.
Or anti-Buddhism or anti-anything.
I'm not anti-people in any sense. I'm really not.
Anti-bad ideas.
That's the only reason why I say you kind of have to watch as flippant as we are. Sometimes you have to watch your rhetoric because it can get.
For what it's worth, I think there's fewer bad ideas in Buddhism. So I wouldn't say anti-bad ideas. I want to say anti-uncritical acceptance.
I'll still say for a good chunk, Buddhism is still a bad idea. A lot of it's just misinformed
idea. Some
crap.
of Christianity is a good idea.
Right. There's good in everything.
Yeah.
There's bad in everything.
Sure.
Right.
But I mean, the whole, thou shalt not kill, that's too vague.
That's history,
not specific enough.
History's not well served by remembering the good Nazis, right? It's the same thing. There were good Nazis. Just foot soldiers. They were just people. They weren't good or bad. They were just doing what they had to do.
Someday, perhaps, people will view Western soldiers the same way. Depending on who they're attacking or who won that particular war or what, right? Like it's such a subject that just requires more thought than just black and white.
It's difficult though. I mean, what about Vietnam? We should be judging the United States' actions concerning Vietnam.
I agree.
Just as we should be judging the Nazis' actions during World War II.
In the recent discussion between...
We should be judging U.S. actions in World War II.
Yes, exactly.
When they take
should be
the
judging.
Japanese and stick them in internment camps for years.
That's right. And even the dropping of the atomic bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It is an action deserving of judgment. It is.
Yeah, sure it is.
Now, and that one was... Because I do know a little bit about that one. That one was a harsh... decision, because what they want to do is, what didn't work in Iraq but did work there. It was shock and awe.
Right.
They had this powerful bomb because the Japanese, or at least the perception, I don't know how true it is. I'm not a historian, but the perception was that if they tried to invade Japan, that they would have fought to the last man, and it would have been such a bloody fight.
Right.
That's why they dropped the 2 atomic bombs.
The judgment call at the time was that this will actually save lives in both ways.
Yeah.
Like it will save lives on the enemy side and it will save lives on our side.
Because it'll shock them into final surrender.
Yes. I'm not sure if that necessarily was the case.
I
think at this point it's impossible to tell.
Or whether the bombs had to be dropped on populated areas.
Right. If it could have been dropped in a more desolate area.
Or the Atlantic.
Or the ocean, perhaps. Yeah.
I think it need to cripple their economy in some way, actually injure the country in some way.
Yeah. I mean,
so maybe fewer casualties, but, target, you can still target some of their... target like a dam.
Something that could have affect the economy.
I mean, it's one of those things where, years later you can still
they have some really big towers.
Debate it,
They have 2 really big towers. You can just take those out.
No, they didn't have those.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, it's also the case Japan was fairly heavily populated. You could argue.
Are we allowed to make those jokes?
No, we're not. We're not allowed.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't bring my handbook.
I think we can talk about 9/11. Or make reference to it, rather.
Tragedy plus time equals comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
That's a South Park rule, isn't it?
It's not all about the comedy, though.
No.
We're sort of all about trying to stay with the truth. Really.
We like to be truthful and think about things in a deeper fashion than most people do, and
sometimes it doesn't come across, but
well, I mean, it doesn't always come across, I don't think, but I recently encountered.
We can't circle jerk and pat ourselves on the back in a podcast.
Well,
so.
the only reason I mentioned
that'd be just really uncomfortable. Dave is trying really hard.
The only reason. The only reason I mentioned 9/11 is because we were talking about shock and awe and crippling an economy.
Yeah.
Right,
and that's exactly what that was.
That's exactly what it was, yeah.
I had to cut a bit out of this for legal protection reasons, so I figured I may as well throw in an ad or two. Audible.com is offering listeners of Brainstorm a free audiobook download and a free 30-day trial membership. Membership gives you reduced prices on over 150,000 titles for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player, and costs $14.95 per month after the first free month. I just signed up a few weeks ago, and right now I'm listening to Your Deceptive Mind, a scientific guide to critical thinking skills with Dr. Stephen Novella from the Great Courses lecture series. For your 30-day free trial membership and free audiobook download, go to audibletrial.com/brainstorm. That's audibletrial.com/brainstorm. I'd also like to tell you about reasonistproducts.com. T-shirts and hoodies with science, reason, and atheist themes. They've got good prices and offer a buy one get one free deal with the coupon code BRAINSTORM. For a limited time, they're also offering a free T-shirt to Brainstorm listeners. Be the first person to tweet the word Brainstorm to them at Reasonist Products with no vowels in the word products. That's at Reasonist, PRDCTS, reasonistproducts.com.
No, I recently got into a debate with somebody who claimed that war is inevitable and that we need to, I don't know quite what his point was because he couldn't English.
So you even English, bro?
So the whole, I'm pretty sure his point was that we need to send all the Muslims home, and that's not what we're about.
We are tribal creatures.
I know that we try to discuss religion and we're super critical of it. I just don't think that that's us, though. Like, I just don't think
that's why I'm saying you have to
everybody
watch
home is
why
us.
you have to watch the rhetoric a bit, because you have other people that don't think that hard and then they take it the other way, right? Like, there's, a couple nut jobs, they went off and did some bad things. But then again, the weird thing about that is you watch the news while they're talking about what happened in Ottawa, then you have a school shooting down in the States.
Yeah.
Like, there's just crazy people everywhere, and they have access to weaponry. But to then tell everyone to go home because they're different than you, it's a problem.
Well,
mind you, it's been a problem for
forever,
long time.
But just because somebody's Islamic doesn't mean they're not from here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, these people are saying go home. It's not a race.
I mean,
it's a religion.
Like, go home. I live on Fifth Avenue.
Yeah.
You want me to walk home?
Mind you, that could be that kind of stupid thinking might be why you have people
converting.
Well, not converting and or hopping the plane and going to Syria. Because they're born and raised or second generation here in Canada or the United States. They're Canadian, but they've been discriminated against, and they're like, well, fuck it, might as well join them. And
well, and where do you draw the line when you're saying go home? Do you say go home to everybody that's second or third generation? Because that's going to empty out the country pretty quick.
Yep.
Ridiculously fast.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Canada wants
5 generations
immigrants.
at the most for Westerners.
I saw a meme not that long ago.
5th generation.
Canada wants immigrants for economic reasons.
Yeah, that's right.
So
I saw.
We have the same landmass as the U.S. and a tenth of population. Bring us your huddled masses. We need all of the huddled masses, please.
Problem is, you send them a little too far north, and they'll definitely be huddled.
Yeah, that's right. Be purchasing some
Harley
Hansen gear.
Actually, they say that with in climate change, that the grain belt's moving north, like by thousands of kilometers. So
Maybe.
right now,
Maybe.
What's what climatologists are saying?
That's an interesting.
Yeah, I haven't heard that.
Well, it makes sense because
it's interesting.
It makes sense, right? Because climate's changed.
Well, it would make sense. I just haven't heard it.
Yeah. So if the grain belt moves north, then the northern parts of Canada, like right now where you have, say, Hudson's Bay, that's going to be all wicked good farmland.
Well, Hudson's Bay is all rock.
Yeah, well, there is farming up there. They're called bush farmers.
They're called stonemasons.
No, there's tons of bush farming going on up there. Yeah, tons of it.
Yeah.
It's not great farming land though. Like over the land itself, perhaps
the temperature might be
in a temperature
good,
wise.
but
Like but the ground itself isn't great for farming. Like, I mean, that's kind of one of the things we know around this.
Yeah. So what's going to happen right now in the breadbasket of North America is it's going to become arid.
Yeah.
And we're going to have shorter growing seasons or hotter growing seasons, and we won't be able to grow the crops that we need.
Exactly right.
Well, when we can't grow the crops we need, that means other countries don't get the food they need, and that can start revolutions.
Right.
Yeah.
And
so
that's a factor in the revolution
we don't need
Egypt.
All the huddled masses.
Yeah.
Maybe. And I'm not saying close the borders and freak out. And
Well, of course not.
Anything like that.
Not.
But
I think people should just stop not fucking so much, just producing so many children. You know, I'd like two for a couple is
replace yourself. That's okay.
Yeah.
Keep on fucking. We just think that maybe some protection might be necessary.
Yeah.
Little contraception might not hurt.
Fuck you, Catholic Church.
No, where were we?
Climate change. I was talking about the grain belt movement.
We got from
Well, we're talking about immigrants.
Oh yeah.
I got us to that.
Yeah, which is.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
If everybody went to their ancestral homes, there'd be nobody living in North America.
Well, that's just it. Yeah. My family is second generation Canadian. My grandmother on my mother's side is actually from Ireland. My grandfather was actually from England.
I'm third generation.
Like I just, if we're kicking all immigrants out, then I've got to go. Like it's
then everybody has to go.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because there used to be a land bridge or an ice bridge way back in the day.
It's a stupid knee-jerk reaction to shit like that. And, I mean, you saw it happened down in the States after 9/11. It's sad that it happened here in Canada, but...
The biggest problem with ISIS is everybody's talking about ISIS.
Oh, let's not do that.
No, okay, sorry.
Let's not do that.
That's going to edit that out.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Telling immigrants to fuck off to go back home, it's so ridiculous. We're all immigrants. Yeah. Every single one of us. There aren't any native people in this room at all. So we should all go back home. I mean, I don't see why it should only be 2 generations. Why is the reason confined to 2 generations? Yeah. If people should go home, then people should go home. If that makes sense, then it makes sense. We should all go home.
These people aren't thinking that.
That's right.
It's
everybody needs to just fuck off and leave this place empty.
Yeah.
This is Canada. If you don't like our culture, get out. Well, guess what our culture is? Whatever you bring to the country.
No. Our culture is Tim Hortons and hockey. Come on.
Yeah, that's true. We have other cultural aspects.
We have developed them in the last 20, 30 years.
Oh, I know.
Everybody we're telling to go home works at Tim Hortons.
No, not quite. They're mostly Filipino.
Well, it's a mix.
It really depends on the city.
Oh, that's true. Okay. Around here in Regina, it's mostly Filipino.
In Weyburn, we have a lot of Middle Eastern descent people.
Okay. Well,
a lot of them actually work in the bank sector, too.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. Whatever.
At the university, there's
it's still a ridiculous concept.
There's a number of Middle Eastern people at the university. I work for a bunch of them.
Right.
Or their students. We have a lot of professors from the Middle East, people who are very intelligent, trying to advance things like mitigating our spread of carbon dioxide to the atmosphere from power plants.
That's
they're trying to do
argument. It's
good
it
for
doesn't
us
matter.
over here.
Yeah.
And then there's people telling them to go home.
That's something else I wanted to touch base on too. I've heard people say that to Filipinos. I'm like, first off, I've never met a Filipino that I don't not like. I like every Filipino I've ever met.
Don't not like.
That's a Tim Minchin thing. Yeah. The only thing he hates is racist Filipinos. He's never met a Filipino he doesn't not like.
Okay. You like all Filipinos?
I haven't met a Filipino I dislike. And I sell cars. I sell Mazdas. I meet a lot of people from the Philippines. Like, I probably meet 4 new Filipinos a day.
I think you might be stereotyping.
No. Well, in a positive way.
In a positive way.
People that are telling people from the Philippines to go home, it's hilarious because these people are all uneducated. They're telling Filipinos to go home. Every adult from the Philippines that comes here has a degree because education's free in the Philippines. You're telling somebody that's smarter than you to get out.
It's usually the way it works.
That sounds right. That sounds like the message that people are sending.
Isn't that sad? We're supposed to be about multiculturalness, you know?
And
in
we
a
won't
country
accept,
like this?
Yeah.
But
we won't accept their degrees. Like, there's one guy I know. He's an aeronautic engineer.
Oh, yeah.
Guess what? He's not in Canada.
Yeah. That's
an aeronautic engineer.
Well, the thing is, the University of Regina wouldn't accept Heidi's degrees from the university, or any of her classes, not any, but some of her classes from the U of S.
Oh yeah, that's why Jen's still in school.
We
don't even start.
We have that very problem over here.
Yeah.
So of course we're not accepting their degrees.
But no, that's one school
else.
not accepting classes from another school.
Yeah.
This is a country not accepting degrees from schools from another country.
It's basically our schools not accepting their degrees.
Yeah,
because it's the
because
same thing.
they want money from them to pay for new degrees.
I don't know about that, but just because you're accredited in your own country to do something doesn't mean you're accredited over here.
That's true.
Like, you take something like accreditation for engineering. There's a number of protocols that you're going to have to meet, and we don't know if you do meet all of the criteria.
Right, that's fair. But I've met doctors that have just moved here, that are doctors that are practicing, that have been here for 2 weeks.
Well, they
haven't passed any accreditation here.
Yeah, they should just require accreditation here. That's all it should be. They should require that kind of practical
But that
proof.
guy with his aeronautical engineering degree, he has to actually go take 2 years of university here. Even though he's a master's. He finished his master's there. He did more than just a base degree. He went in and got everything he could.
To be fair, I mean, maybe I'm not being fair, but a doctor deals with patients one-on-one and deals with a certain number of hundreds of people. An engineer designs things that thousands of people possibly use or rely on in order to keep their lives going.
Potentially.
Like bridges or...
Bridges, that's the cliche there.
Yeah, it is the cliche. Or maybe a plane.
Aeronautic engineer, right?
Like Gumby said, potentially.
Potentially. I mean, I think there are going to be degrees of what we can accept and what we can't accept. And I think that in many cases, universities will know what they can and can't do.
Well, his wife is an accountant.
Right?
It doesn't count here. Because apparently math is different somewhere else.
Well, no, it shouldn't be.
Right.
No, but the forms they have to fill out are going to be entirely different.
Yeah. Right.
Yep.
But you could still get a job as an accountant.
Yeah, you'd have to retake everything, though.
It depends what type of job as an accountant you're taking.
We're getting
you would
into
have to relearn how to fill out all the forms. Accounting is a degree in filling out forms.
Depends on the type of accounting. If you're a client accountant, yes. If you're a corporate one, potentially not. You could just be a number cruncher.
If you're a corporate one, you'll maybe have to deal with fewer different things.
Yeah.
It's hard to say.
Yeah, we're kind of getting into the nuances of education versus education here.
Right.
But overall, I think that if you can pass a particular test, then I don't see necessarily.
Well, exactly. And who's to say their school isn't better than ours?
Well, it might be. It might be.
They should still be required to get some kind of accreditation.
Sure.
Yeah,
and I totally agree with that with the engineers and everything else. It should happen with fucking doctors too.
Yeah.
But it doesn't.
That's interesting.
You look at that, isn't it pathetic that we are supposedly the best country in the world?
No.
In a lot of ways we're one of the better countries.
Yeah.
Economically and a few other things like that. We are one of the better countries.
We might have luckily made it into the top 5 in some areas.
Right. Well, we have people coming from countries. They're fleeing their countries where they get free education, where they have freedoms, and they're guaranteed freedoms, and they're fleeing to here to have a better life, even though in some ways their country is better. Mm-hmm. And they get persecuted here for coming here.
Yeah.
For saying, hey, your country, even though it's cold and it sucks, and it sucks and it's fucking cold, and there's nothing to do because it's so cold, it's still better than my tropical fucking paradise. I'm going to come live here. What do you mean get the fuck out? Yeah. I chose to come here. You should be welcoming me.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
No, that's just it. It's ridiculous. The whole go home mentality is just fucking ignorant and ridiculous.
It is.
Is all there is to it.
If we want immigrants, we should be enabling them.
Yeah.
And we should be welcoming them.
Without immigrants, our economy would be so fucking stagnant and horrible right now.
What I was saying earlier.
So
they're necessary for the economy.
They're driving the economy.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess I got a little girl.
Dad sure orders a lot of pizza when we're sleeping.
Little girl gets real with the tooth fairy, crushes parents' souls in the process. Because souls are a real thing.
Oh. Souls are for real, yo. Oh, no, that's God. Sorry.
Today's cute kid note reminds parents that they may not be as stealth as they think. Title, The Skeptic. Author, Lexi, whose age is 9. Goodbye to the Tooth Fairy and Santa and Easter Bunny all in one note. Dear Tooth Fairy, I don't believe in the Tooth Fairy anymore. I know it's you who gets the money and puts it under my pillow, Mom and Dad. I'm sorry if this is hard for you to, but I'm 9 now, and I don't believe in Santa either. Daddy, P.S. Daddy, I know it was you who's the Easter Bunny hiding my Easter eggs. Under the article, it says, valid reactions from Mom and Dad. Fine, no money under your pillow. And 2, we'll be crying into our pillows over here.
So this 9-year-old just declared that she is smarter.
What shit responses do you get?
Than 2 billion religious people.
Okay, my first reaction to that is, you're not getting suckered again, are you?
Well, that's a HuffPost article.
Yeah, it could, but
a kid who, all
kids aren't nearly as stupid as people.
A kid who figures out that the Tooth Fairy is her parents doesn't deserve to get punished by not getting money under her pillow anymore for teeth. Like, seriously, this kid actually deserves a reward, in my opinion.
Then increase her allowance. Say, well, there's no reason for this farce anymore. We'll just give you a better allowance now that you deserve it because you've proven yourself smart.
And really, when you have a tooth that rots enough so it falls out of your head, how gross is it to put it under your pillow and then sleep on it?
That's not why kids' teeth fell out.
Yeah.
Or just fall out because your adult teeth are coming in. Whatever. I liked my description better as well.
No. I'm thinking because you put your teeth under the pillow.
Nobody's giving you money.
Who's a tooth fairy?
No, what really bothered me about this article was the parents' reaction. And the fact that the article said this is a valid reaction from Mom and Dad. If my daughter comes to me and says, I know it's you, it's the fucking Tooth Fairy. Even if she includes the word fucking. I'm going to say, okay, so what? Do you not want money or do you want money? Like, continue with the ritual and we'll do this. Like, it's fine with me. I don't see why not giving the money is the appropriate response.
Have you told her that you're the tooth fairy?
Yes.
You have?
Yes.
You sociological. You're just
so
you're
you know
just a
you're
sheep.
paying for psychology
Just a sheep.
later on.
You know what's
in
going to happen at my house when Loki loses his first tooth? Even if he wasn't autistic, he would lose his tooth. He'd be like, "Daddy, I lost a tooth." I'm like, "That means your big ones are growing in. Yay! Throw it in the garbage." That's what I would say, and that's what I will say.
And yeah, okay, that's as legitimate as anything.
And so is their reaction. It's still a legitimate reaction,
except for
just because we don't.
They've
we don't
already
agree with
conditioned their child to getting money when their tooth is gone, and then their child discerned that there's no such thing as a tooth fairy. And as a result, their parents go, "Oh, well, okay, from now on, you don't get anything." It's the same as the person who says, "Well, I don't believe in Santa Claus," and their parents go, "Well, now you don't get presents."
My parents know I don't believe in Santa and I don't get Christmas presents.
You're a grown up.
So maybe they're treating her like
well,
an
that's
adult
debatable some days.
because she seems to be more intelligent than a lot of adults.
But she's 9. And despite what we may attribute to her, obviously,
since we obviously know her personally.
Well, since we attribute to her obviously decent reasoning skills, we can't say that her emotional reaction to not getting money isn't going to be, well, why? Because I didn't believe this, now I'm getting punished. Yeah. And that's my point. Mm-hmm. So now you're punishing somebody for thinking critically is what it turns out to be.
Yep. Why would you do anything but reinforce that behavior? Why would you punish it?
Exactly.
Well, probably because they are thinking, that warm, fuzzy parent, oh, her innocence is now gone.
Right, so we punish her.
Yeah. Go back to being our innocent little girl.
I'm not saying they're, parents of the year.
So what's the proper reaction? Oh, okay. So since you don't believe in the tooth fairy, you know it's bullshit. Just keep doing it anyway?
Let's keep doing it. Or let's know that mom and dad or dad is giving the money. Let's say, okay, I lost a tooth. Dad's going to reward me with $2. Or whatever. Like,
I don't understand the whole idea of the reward for the teeth thing to begin with.
I'm not sure where that ritual started.
I don't either.
I'm kind of curious.
And
now.
I don't care. My point is that she
maybe,
figured it out.
Maybe
and her
the
parents
previous
were
4
her for
teeth,
figuring it out.
the daughter came to the parents and go, why am I putting my tooth under my pillow and getting money? Why? This doesn't make any sense. Maybe she did that 4 times before. And her parents are just like, fine. You know what? You're right. You're right. We give up. Who's to say that's not what happened? With her reasoning skills, I'd say that's probably pretty fucking likely.
She probably was like, Jesus Christ, you guys, quit putting money under my damn pillow.
Maybe she's got a 15-year-old brother that told her the truth when she was 4.
Well,
who knows?
As a parent of an 11-year-old and an 8-year-old, my son has multiple times told my daughter that there's no such thing as the Tooth Fairy, the Easter Bunny, or Santa Claus. My daughter, who is the younger one, decides that it doesn't matter what my older brother says. I'm believing this anyway. So which behavior should I be rewarding?
I'm not saying that you should punish or reject them. I'm just saying not giving them money for something that's completely bullshit isn't punishing them.
No, punishment isn't defined.
No, but you'd still be rewarding them for pretending.
Yeah.
That's not right. That's worse than them believing it.
It's all wrong.
It's all conditioned.
Rewarding them for believing in the Tooth Fairy is just
wrong.
as wrong as starting to punish them because they discover that there is no Tooth Fairy. And it's punishment because that's what they're going to perceive it as, and that's all that matters.
Right.
So it's the way in which you deal with it, right?
Right. So, and that's why when Loki loses his teeth, I'm not going to do any of that. I'll be like, oh, it's normal. You're okay. Throw it in the garbage.
He won't know the difference.
Well, he might. He's actually. Well, yeah.
But a kid who's never been raised to get money for teeth is not going to acknowledge the difference when they
right.
don't.
If he comes to me and says, "Hey, how come Billy Bob got money from the Tooth Fairy?"
Because his parents are fucking idiots.
Yeah, I'll just say that his parents are weak-minded fools.
Or whatever you choose to say.
Yeah. Or they subscribe to this silly notion that there's a Tooth Fairy that comes through the window, but it's actually the parents just doing it so that the kid doesn't feel afraid because they're losing their teeth.
Yeah.
And then Loki will probably say something like, "That's stupid," or he would have already just wandered away.
I want my money.
Likely he'll just wander away as soon as I start talking. Just because it's me talking.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, yeah, right. Talking's the result of my question.
Why do I talk to him?
He's such an idiot.
He's still talking. He's like the thing that wouldn't shut up.
I just wish he'd stop.
I'm going to go do my homework. But no,
Note to self, never ask Dad a question.
Yeah. Indeed.
I think my kids are getting to that point. Because I always go, it's more nuanced than that.
Yeah.
You can't answer that with a yes or no.
Yeah.
There's this question that comes into play, and there's this that comes into play. And they're going, no, Dad, stop it. Stop it.
Can I have some Cheerios? That's all I'm asking. Can I please have, it's breakfast time. I can't reach the box. Can I have some Cheerios?
Are you sure? Because what about
who's Plato?
What about the socioeconomic situation?
Who? I don't care who Plato is, Dad. Homer's on the cartoons. Yeah. No, I just want the cereal.
There's an army coming for us, though, Plato. But what is an army really? Isn't there just some individuals coming for us? No, an army is a collection of individuals. No, a collection of individuals could just be individuals. No, it's an army that's coming, so an idea is coming for us. Oh, I'm so scared. And then Plato gets killed by this army, right?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Anyway.
That's how I'm raising my children.
Oh, good.
To get killed by armies.
To get stabbed for asking stupid questions? Is that what you're doing?
All of the above. No, I got nothing else. I did have a post about this Gamergate.
Can we just let that die?
Yeah, no, it's fine with me.
It's all a whole bunch of horse shit. They were wrong. The system is really bad and needs to be.
Well, I don't know specifically what you're talking about, but I do know that a woman who was speaking at a university got death threats, and that's uncool.
She's speaking on because she's a game developer herself,
and she's an outspoken feminist. And that's...
Well, and gaming culture is very misogynistic.
Way to say it right. You got that on
I didn't
record.
figure out why you were staring at me like that when you said that.
I was waiting for you to not correct me. And it was
Yeah, I just looked away in disinterest, and you're like, yeah, that's
right.
right.
That's right. You got nothing to say. The whole gaming culture is it's really bad for being really sexist and
racist,
racist and oppressive to women. And most games are all about they're all masculine. Most of them, the whole system's masculine.
First-person shooters are.
Right. Well, and Grand Theft Auto and maybe not so much Halo because it's not that. It is, but it's not anti-female in any way.
No, but the community will be.
Right.
Wow. I mean, it's basically it's a bunch of 12-year-old boys or guys that are stuck.
People have to stop saying that. It's not. It's mostly 30-somethings.
Well, you jumped in before I finished my smart-ass comment.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm interrupting your smart-ass comment.
Exactly. They're a bunch of 12-year-old boys or people still stuck mentally as 12-year-old boys.
There we go.
Okay. I mean, my joke is, I play them, but I don't do any of that online because I don't need 12-year-olds questioning my sexuality because, that's all it is. Fag, fucking fag. That bullshit. The problem with the internet, just all you have to do is click on any video on YouTube and go about 4 or 5 comments down and you'll see where, how stupid some of this shit gets.
But that's part of the problem why so many women who are incredibly brilliant people don't read the comments on their YouTubes.
Yeah.
Because
because it's asinine.
It's ridiculous. They get into these fucking you're so hot, I wish you could do this.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking comments.
What's the common one? Because if you go on the heavy metal sites, if it's the Maria Brink or any of the heavy metal singers in there, I'd pee in her butt. Just stupid shit like that. It's the same thing as with this. It's just a bunch.
That's one of the actors Corey likes.
Once again, Corey's niche porn.
I knew it.
Yes. But it's the same. It's the same kind of thing. It's just amplified, right? Amplified to death threats and rape threats and just stupid shit.
Yeah.
And it started off because one guy perceived a relationship, and that's why one of them got a good game review or something. Some stupid fucking things. That's how it started.
They're saying that there was a good game review because she was sleeping with these 2 guys, and that's how her game got reviewed so well, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, yeah. It's the same. It's just stupid shit.
So basically, she's Madonna of video games. Old Madonna. Young Madonna.
Whatever. Some people are attributing her success to sleeping around. It seems pretty typical of what people attribute female success to.
Yeah.
Well, and then she got defensive because she's a feminist. Well, no, sorry. She got defensive because she's a person, and she got insulted.
Yeah.
Sorry, to make that a little clearer. And she happens to be a feminist, so she is a little more likely to become. To be a little more aggressive, not aggressive, but a little more outspoken, because she's an outspoken feminist.
Right.
So, and then she started getting death threats uttered against her and stuff, and called a whole bunch of names by a lot of people in the gaming community, because it is 12-year-olds stuck in 30-year-olds' bodies that live in their parents' basement.
Before we say anything else, I just want to commend Gumby on the thoughtfulness of his.
I think there's a little bit of backpedaling there. Okay, no, there's a whole lot of backpedaling.
He specifically,
but he did catch himself.
Very clear what he was saying.
He did catch himself.
Well, and what I was originally going to say still is the same thing. It's just the wording would have come across insensitive.
Well, exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Is that was fucking awesome of the wording. You specifically designed your wording to not be offensive to people.
I would like to thank Lana for that.
Although I'm pretty sure at this, if she was here, her eyes would have already rolled in the back of her head a long time ago.
That's it for this episode. Thanks for listening. All the relevant links will be posted in the show notes at brainstormblog.net. If you want to keep up to date with the show, come on over and like us on Facebook at facebook.com/brainstormpodcast or follow us on Twitter at brainstormpod. This show was recorded in Roman Empire Studios. If you want to support the show, head on over to patreon.com/brainstormpodcast and give $1 an episode. Or if that's too much, then go and give us a rating and write a review on iTunes or Stitcher. We still have a free shirt up for grabs for the first person to rate us and give us a review on Stitcher. I just got the email today that Survival's shirt got shipped from Cafe Press. You can go and buy your own from cafepress.com/brainstormpodcastgear. Or just go to our website and click on the Cafe Press link. This week's podcast shout-out goes out to No Religion Required. Once upon a time, I gave the Atheists on Air a shout-out and mistakenly mentioned Bobby Carey as a co-host. While that would be cool, something that's even cooler is listening to him and Miss Ashley read the Bible with their buddy, Jeremiah. It's a very laid-back podcast, and I've enjoyed every episode I've listened to. I recently became Facebook friends with Bobby C., and I look forward to chatting with him and listening to his podcast more in the future. One last little bit. I want to give everyone an update on the state of the fundraiser and special episode on mental health. Of course, I want to thank all the podcasters, bloggers, and listeners who helped out and made the fundraiser a success. Promoting the cause of mental health and working towards helping the CMHA was honestly one of the highlights of my year, just because of all the support and help that everyone gave. It's one of the highlights of my stint as a podcaster, and to have interacted with so many great people on something I consider so important. I realize that there's lots of charities and good causes out there, but I think mental illness is something that not only gets overlooked by many, but it also gets dismissed by many. Sometimes even those who have family members who are suffering from it. It's almost as if people think depression is something you could just snap out of, or delusions are something you can just reason your way through. You can't. These things require medication, therapy, and support from friends and family. But anyway, we raised $284 to give to the CMHA Regina, and they need more. They're in desperate need of a corporate sponsor at the moment, or they're going to lose a valuable program that provides employment training to people with mental illness who have been, or are at risk of becoming homeless. If you run a company and you're looking for a charity to sponsor, contact Kevin Huber of the CMHA Regina. His official email is khuber@cmharegina.com. That's KHUBER@cmharegina.com. As for the special episode on mental health, I'll be rescheduling that for sometime in January. I'll let you all know when that's coming. Thanks again for your support on both the campaign to help the CMHA and for your support of the show. I hope you join us next time. Have a good one.
Podcasts are only as good as their topics.
Yeah, right.
Whatever. If you have to edit a lot of this out, you have a lot of material.
You know, I don't know how much editing other podcasts do.
Yeah.
But there's some better than ours.
I don't.
Oh, no, yeah, you're a professional editor. Why are you doing the editing?
Yeah, because he does it in
Because
print.
he's not an audio editor.
Oh,
no.
He's a writing editor.
It's a different kind of...
A copy editor.
I'm not going to correct our grammar.
That would be hilarious if you did that for an episode.
Can you cut and paste like audio?
You'd be listening to Gumby's voice one moment, and then I would cut in whom, and then it would continue, right? Every once in a while, I would overwrite one of your words with the actual grammatical correctness.
Occasionally? I think it'd be more than occasional.
All the time.
Can you auto-tune grammar?
You'd have to start it off with like, this is Gumby speaking. And then it would be all Mike's voice.
What it's worth, it has to be a circle jerk, so it has to. Has to be the next person. You know how it works.
Yeah, it's called the reach around. Get with it.
Okay, stop being a dick.
You know what? I think you're dumb.
And this is dragged on so long that it feels like 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. No, it's not.
No.
You're free to go. Go home. Bigots.
I'm on topic.
This is an opinion-based podcast. Each person on the podcast is responsible for their own opinions, and those opinions don't necessarily reflect the views of the rest of the panel, any guests, or anyone associated with the people on the podcast, such as spouses, partners, children, other family members, friends, or employers. No one person speaks for the podcast, with the possible exception of Corey, and he doesn't speak for anyone else on the show. The Brainstorm podcast does not represent the views of our sponsors.